The next bit to learn is the clever functionality, and it's the setting up of the back end. It's the setting up of the back end system, which isn't the standard, and the sort of thing you may not have seen before. So on our system, we've got Catfish, a menu called Catfish. Go to Dynamic Products. Presented with this window. Every product that we have on the system, in a shopping cart, we can make a dynamic product. We so wish. We don't have to. This product here will be a static product if you wanted it to be. But the difference with a static product. Static. No, I haven't got static products on it. Oh, category, yes, I have now. Brilliant. Okay. Got our test category that we put on here earlier. When we put the test category on earlier, we could have a banner within that text, or we could have text in there. So saw that. There are no products showing in that at the moment. Slightly worrying. Should be. We assigned that product here to that, but that's neither here nor there. Right. Okay, so what we have in the back end is canvas, stock, general data, theme, output types of products. Okay. A canvas, this is the pasteboard on which people work. These I need you to set lots and lots of these up. This is one thing that I do need doing. So if I go back to a Christmas card, my portrait Christmas card, when they're working in a designer, they're working on Christmas cards, as it happens. So they will have in that a portrait card. So that canvas will contain many things. It has a name here. It has canvas sizes names, and I'll show you how relevant they are in a minute. They have a size of them, size of the canvas or the product. They have a price factor. They have an order they show up, and then they have some other things we can do in it. Right. Here in the Christmas card product, it's patently an A5 card. Okay. In the settings, they have the option to change from an A6 to an A5 card. It's a different size. You can see there, 105, A6, 10, whatever is the A5 card. Okay, so they can move within that, within the design, which allows them to and we can have products that have hundreds of sizes in, if we so wish. So you can design a book and then print it out whatever size you like. Okay, so and it puts the price up. Okay, so as you can see, the important bit of this canvas is the name within the canvas sizes, because that's what the customer sees. Portrait card, which is says here. And that you've got A6 portrait or A5 portrait. So A6 portrait or A5 portrait and size next to it. This, when we come off our beta release, is going to be styled up much funkier. Don't worry about the styling at the moment. It's just this is just a beta test area. The site's going to be much better looking than when it launches in the next couple of weeks. Okay. Other things they can do. We don't tend to muck around with canvas corners. I have nothing new to populate here. In Christmas cards, this is how I make Christmas cards on the site. This area here is background selections. Backgrounds here. adjust backgrounds to the sites, and all they are is high-res JPEGs, fronts, popped in. People can put their text about accordingly and see change their thing to they so wish to. So that's what customers get access to here. Okay, backgrounds. So one thing you need to do on the products where I define it is go into the background. So if we were creating a new product, a new canvas up, show you before I go and do this. There's layout categories. Layouts are JSONs, which is why when this product launched, it can launch with a certain layout category or template. Remember we saw the photo book earlier. They had lots and lots of pink boxes to the left that we dragged in as templates. They would be stored in layout categories. Most products we have on here do have layouts. Borders, I don't tend to put borders on at the moment. It may be something we add later, and as we do, we'll all learn about that. So if I add a new canvas, after its size, so we're going to go this training canvas, decide what size the base canvas is, and we may decide that's an A4 grade, or you can put our own size in here if you so wish. So we could, so we know that an A4 rated 210 millimeters by 297 millimeters. We do it there. If we decide that wants to be a test square canvas, say 250 millimeters by 250 millimeters. Let's be random. Let's create one of those. We just go add new. Okay. So see down here, test training canvas has been created. Within that, we'd have the option to put different sizes. So we even if you're not, we still now need that one. It's going to show up in settings to say what it is. So we'll say, we're going to call this one where, and I will define this in spreadsheets what you need to put in. So you don't need to make decisions for me. You just need to populate for me. And this is a default canvas, so the price factor is going to be 1 and the size factor is going to be the order is going to be 1. Save that. I'm going to add some more. You can only add sizes to within a canvas if it's the same aspect ratio. So it would have to, if this one's square aspect ratio, it would have to be square. So we could do A sizes together, squares together, 2x3 aspect ratios together. So you could have a 2-inch by 3-inch, or a 4-inch by 6-inch, or a 6-inch by 9-inch, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to make this one, it's easy maths for us all, 500 millimeter. Although it's twice the size, it might not be twice the price, and that will be defined within my pricing structure. It might be we only charge 1.5 times going up size, and because the order is defaulted to normal, so we want the order to go to, so it displays below it, not ahead of it. So the small is first, or the most popular one could be first, and this one. 500 millimeters, so we need to edit the size factor, and obviously 2. If you click away, it'll tell you what it's calculated as. So we now know that, so within this canvas, overall canvas, there are 2 canvas sizes in there of those. Okay, we can add some backgrounds. I always call my backgrounds, so I automatically create a backgrounds field anyway. And within that, edit it. So you could put background colors in, for instance. So we're going to call this one white, almost. So we can define one of you to create a master spreadsheet with some different colour swatches in that we're going to use, or work with me on that, so that we can start within our background, all our backgrounds, or many of our backgrounds, put same colours in there. And as graphic designers at this end, we're going to define to you what really sort of colour range we want to see. I would start with white, then black, RGB, and now I'm just going to add pink colour. So, okay, but might be lots. There's 3 background colours. This. So background images. That's how you saw us do the Christmas cards earlier. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to so complicated now. So in each of the Christmas cards, I've present background. So this is a square canvas. I'll put my square Christmas cards in here. These quite large files. So I don't know. So you both of you are going to have to let me know what bandwidth you work on and what internet speed you've got. I can get you the master files of a lot of my stuff via WeTransfer. But I need to know what internet speed you have. That's going to be quite important. I've got a 60 meg lease line here, so I'm blessed with very fast internet speed. So I'm going to upload all these very large-ish high-res files. Even on my speed of internet, you can see that quite slow. Still whirring here. Can't come off this page on this site while that's working. So go to the site and we can see that working. They looked like they stored quite quickly, didn't they? Stop whirring. So yeah, it looks like they didn't take too long to do. Okay, so we've got a lot of background. Layouts, there aren't any at the moment, but actually, let's pop some in there as if we were working on a different product. If I show you, say, layouts. I'm going to have to try and remove the canvas that layouts we've got. So layout categories, I normally go, unless there's a good reason not to, let's be consistent, let's call them design templates, which is what I've been doing till now. You have different things in here. And when they've got their layouts here, I've called it in Canvas, I actually call them Canvas templates. But let's call them templates. And there will be, for instance, these sort of layouts come in that then people drop their imagery into and create their product, lovely product to take away and print. Okay, this one here is actually got a mask attached to it, so if you did it, you won't know that that's got a mask attached to it until you pop a picture in, which is a bit of a... So if they decided, I'm going to go to layout now, and decided if they change the layout, you use the picture, they get another bit of functionality on the site that's really cool. If we went to, say, the 9 grid, it uses everyone has an order, it uses the image. So if we did use autofill, that, so yeah. Okay. Okay, so it's auto-filled, that grid. If we went to a different layout, said, right, okay, we actually use the first 3 it wanted, and you might muck around with those, one over the top as customer, and it's pretty good. So, that. But if they decided, actually, you know save, but I've got a Christmas card's got a bleed on them, so I'm going to go product with a 3mm bleed, square layouts. So I'm going to upload those. JSON files aren't that large. If you ever open one up to see what one looked like, it looks like that. It's got all the instructions, similar to InDesign actually, saying store the image. What state the stored in the layout. So it's just it's a complex artworking file. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that too much. So at this stage we've got the design templates. So on my layout here, on the canvas, I've now got layout categories, background categories, canvases, background categories and canvas sizes all stored, which is great. Okay, that's canvas sorted. A product also has stock. Stock is just a paper we use. So this particular item that we're going to do the test product on, I will give you a list, and I will need all our stock importing. We can't import at the moment. We have to type in manually. We will ultimately be able to import an Excel or an XML, but we can't at the moment. So I have to set my stock up. So for instance, I'm going to go, if I look at the options we have when we put a product on, a paper on, it obviously has a paper type name. It doesn't have to be a paper, it could be a canvas, it could be a vinyl for a banner or anything. Micron thickness, that's quite important for the spine. So if we know the micron thickness, as they add pages, it calculates the spine absolutely accurately to a tenth of a millimeter. So it creates the right spine, and the weight, which is a GSM, so we know the weight of the product that's being created. So that's good for us. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a new one for you. So I'm going to go test training stock. Okay. Why it defaults to a black field there, don't ask me. I think we need to change it to white. I don't know if it makes a difference. I don't know how that visual works on the front end of this. Actually, this is the way we can test this. I want to see what that black looks like here. So it's a bug in the programming that I need sorting. So this is a 160 micron thickness paper, but it's only got 150 GSM paper. That'll be the product we're adding. This is how quick it is to add the papers to the system. Boom. So there's a new paper in there. Probably comes out at the back. It does. Okay. Got general data. And in general data, and these are sort of top end, this is the top level data. It's things like the fonts that you saw being used, and then masks that are used in here, for instance. That's a mask. So that's the masks. The fonts, obviously you know what a font is, so it's the fonts that are added products. These fonts here. Mask control in this. The placeholders are when people add their images, which I make that's got a default placeholder on it. We can change these in product. So we're leaving these as blank at the moment. So most placeholder, I'm not turning them on, but I have got some created, but you don't need to worry about those. So on a new site, when we go to a new store, I'd need masks and fonts set up. So as it happens, I've got them created here. Obviously, 1 standard, 2 designer, 3 script, 4 handwritten, 5 fun. So I've categorized them up 5 ways. We might put all on every product. Since we don't put fun category, we don't assign those to funeral stationery. They will be more somber, so we don't bother assigning those to those. Masks, my design is about to create lots of masks for me. So we're going to have a 40 or 50. At the moment, I've only got 2, which are there, but we're going to have lots. So if I wanted to add a new mask, I would go to the mask category, I'd edit it, and I would upload it. This will need to be done on every site. Again, bandwidth is whether I get the designer to do this directly or you to do it, I haven't decided yet. But if I had a new mask I wanted to add, I'd need to find my master mask files, my system somewhere, probably in resources. That one's already on there, as you can see, but if I did it again, it's a complex mask, very high res, fine grain, it's 21 megabytes. So I don't even know if it allows me to upload it again. Say I've got very fast internet here, so a 25 meg PNG actually does load quite quick at my end. Might be slower at your end. I just need, because this only needs to be done once per store, the masks effect, it doesn't need to be done per product. It doesn't take that long to do, so we have to decide who's doing that. So if you can both advise me your internet speed, we can decide on that. So I've got lots I can add at the moment. I can retransfer them to you, and then they could will be added for you to start learning stuff. Boom, that's because it's probably overwritten the last one, isn't it? I would imagine, because it was already there, but that's how you added it. Okay, so we've got fonts. Fonts are the same. What we do, I'm going to actually add a new. If you were adding to a site to start with, so I'm going to go 6. So I'm going to go. This training category. I've created a new fonts category. Populate that. I have to upload some very specific files, but I have created the very specific files. So one thing I can also do is build fonts, and I understand fonts. I've been dealing with fonts for 20 plus years, so I do understand them. So what I do, I find my font category, fonts I want to pop in that category. Yeah, imagine I put them in boxes. I have. We'll have my fun ones also to the to your training one. So I've zipped them up into into the correct families, so I can highlight those, upload them. After they're uploaded, you have to do is go generate font data. Because they're not in there, they're not in the system and assigned to it until you hit generate font data. It then now says font data available. That's done. The fonts are now available in this category that quick. Okay, which we will test. So I've now got, last but not least, and very, very important, the output type. This output controls things like the bleed of a product. So, understand what bleed is. I'm sure you do understand what bleed is because you both come from a graphic design background. But I think I've explained it and said it. People can't say, "Oh, I wasn't sure what you meant," or "I know what bleed is in my language, but I don't know what it means in English." Okay. And this actually does explain bleed and cover wrap and everything quite well. So I'm going to launch the product here. I'm going to create a new output type. Yeah. Great. Test training output. Okay. Don't need a description. Using covers. Is it an output that is going to use a cover or not? A book would use a cover. Christmas card or a booklet. Okay. You don't need to make the decisions for me, although who knows in time you may be making these decisions for us on new products. But basically, most products are not going to have a cover. A book is going to have a cover. So an acrylic print is going to have a cover. A DVD case isn't going to have cover. A CD case wouldn't have a cover. A booklet have a cover. But something that really has a spine will have a cover. So anything that's perfect bound So we can define different outputs for different types. So on canvas prints, we don't print with a bleed, but we mirror the images, so I put the bleed down as naught. Most of our products, we have a bleed. Well, I'm going to put a bleed larger on this product just to show you how it works. I'm going to put a 5mm bleed. Cover difference. Right. Here's an example of cover, a book. The inside page has probably a size we've set this at. This is the 100, a small book. So shall I move it to? I'll move this book to A5. We're used to working in A5 a bit more. Okay, so we're an A5 book. Okay, we can set the green line is the margin. Obviously used to using margins, just so and really there's just guides to customers. Okay, the red line is bleed. So the trim line of the book is the black. The red is where we print up to, and we obviously guillotine off the edge. Because if you set a photograph for a printer, a photograph of a printer to be there on a book, because when printers produce things, they guillotine lots and lots and lots. It's only ever plus or minus 1mm. They would have to be absolutely accurate, not to get a slight thin white line at the edge of the page. We can zoom the system. Okay. So what would happen if you set a picture without bleeding it off the edge? If the printer got when they guillotine it is slightly out, there could be a slight thin line. So all artwork we encourage uses the bleeds. So this system is saying, right, if we're slightly inaccurate, it doesn't matter because the picture will still be there. And no printer can be completely 100% accurate. It never has been. No printer in the world has ever been able to finish exactly because it's print finishing equipment, so it's impossible. That's why printers put bleeds on products. Only really need 3mm on bleeds. Sometimes we set 5mm up. Okay, so that's the bleed. On the system here, we've got go back to reset zoom. You've got plus or minus zoom. Show left page, show right page. So that's the inside pages. But this book, if it's a hardback book, I can't remember if you set this hardback or softback. Set a softback. Right. Good example. Set as a softback book, it just has a spine, but it has no cover grade. It has no wrap around the there's no wrap around the edge. Okay, and softback books actually have zero cover growth. So a hardback book. So technically, a softback book, if the inside pages are 210 by 148mm, as this A5 book is, softback cover is exactly the same. But a hardback book, if you visualize a hardback book, you'll probably visualize it with having an overhang. The hardback cover overhang is always printed larger than the inside pages. So this system allows for that. So if we go and hardback books, and it's all controlled within the output file. You can see on this book, got a spine added. Because a spine is defined here as how many millimeters you want the spine to be before adding the thicknesses of the pages. Because hardback books will always start 3mm with no pages and grow. So they're the thickness of the page plus 3mm. So we can put 3mm in there. Cover wrap. Hardback book has the cover wrapped around the inside front cover, the bleed area in effect is wrapped around. It makes and then an end paper is put on, and then it makes the book nice and neat, and it looks really nice. So we always tend to put a cover wrap on of 20 millimeters. Duplex printing means double-sided printing. Heading inside cover front pages. On a lay flat book, we need that set. As yes, we do. And on a standard hardback book, you would start printing right-hand page. So it all depends on the product. Gutter, we don't print gutters on our products, so you don't need to worry about it. And the margins. So on this one, I'm going to set 10 millimeter margins. And the pricing factor is not going to grow. I've defined most of these in spreadsheets, so you will at some stage need to update those spreadsheets and learn how those spreadsheets work and keep a master for me, but I'm going to be guiding you on the master spreadsheets, so you're inputting data, but what I like people to understand the data they're inputting, what it's all to do with, what it all means, rather than just randomly inputting numbers and not knowing what they're doing. Okay, I like to educate people at the same time. Okay, so I'm creating a product here that says, using covers on the product, 5 millimeter bleed, so on a normal inside pages, between the red and black line is 5 millimeters. The cover difference is 3 millimeters. That's the difference. So basically, it means the difference between that book, so that picture there, be 158 millimeters tall. Okay, hopefully. Just about. Yeah, 8 millimeters tall. Other things this system does is place in place, which is just another function of Adobe. So if I copied that, went to this page, it'll place it in place. This page hasn't got any cover growth. So, but if we had a product that had cover growth, it wouldn't be 158 millimeters tall anymore. It would be 158 millimeters plus a bit. So we're saying the cover difference is 3 hardback. The amount to add to the spine there is 3 millimeters because it's hardback. We have that defined. The gutter is 0 because I don't have gutters. Gutters is well, I can explain gutters to you another day. I'm sure you know anyway. They're the gaps between products and pages. So you could have a page book if you didn't output it as spreads or double-sided. Put a gutter there between the pages, if you so wished. Calendar would be useful. So I'm going to save this test product. Bug in the system, you get an error 500 every time you create an output. Don't try and resave it. It is there. If you go back now, it's something we will resolve. Now you know it's here. See, it's been created. It's working. The system isn't. Has a few minor bugs in still, but once you know what they are and how to get around them, they're not what I'd call critical bugs. Okay. And then we have So we now have products. So the products you created in the catalogue, they can be made a dynamic product. So they'll work. So instead of people going along and buying a product, so if it wasn't a static product, this would just be a book. It could be a book like a Waterstones. It could be, the book of Barack Obama's autobiography. That would be a static product. You wouldn't design that. You would just go straight and purchase, buy it, and it would go to your shopping basket. Okay. But becoming a dynamic product means it's a web-to-print product that's controlled by this area of the back end. So we can have in our catalogue static products that we buy traditionally, and we can have web-to-print products. And you both used to work in e-commerce shops, so that should be fine. Okay. In the products, if we want to add a new product, it'll only allow us to add a product that is already in our shopping cart and not yet assigned. So if I go add new, basically there's only one on there. Okay, so we create a new dynamic product of it. We can define how many what is minimum and maximum number of pages. Okay, if it was a book, we might say it's 16 minimum pages and it can't go more than 80, so it'll default 16. If it was a Christmas card, it's going to be 4 to 4. It's a 4-page static product. If it's a calendar, it would be 13 pages to 13 pages. If you have a cover plus 12-page calendar, it's a static, again, it's a static amount of pages in our product. A canvas print would be 1 to 1, because obviously a canvas print or a mounted print or an acrylic or a print of any type, that sort of product, it's just a one single page product. Okay, so you need to understand that. So in this product, we're going to make it we'll make it a book, shall we? Shall we make it a square book? And we'll say kind of a minimum of 60 and a maximum of 80 pages. Output of spreads, very important for us as printers, go through that. So basically, on the book we saw earlier, open that up again, I'll explain what that is. And the book orientation discipline system isn't working, it's something for later on in the system. So we've got the basic rules for a product, and we're going to go save and continue it. So it's saved. But because it's now a product, we can assign all those other wonderful things that we created earlier to it. So, and you have to. It won't work. If I go back to my product list now, it'll say test brain profit, and it'll say issues. No stock item, no canvas item, no item covered. So basically, if somebody went to that product, it wouldn't work. That's telling you that it won't work. You see issues in there. So, canvas. We have to assign a type of paper it's going to print on. It's a print product. It needs a bit of paper. So we're going to select. We should generally have to double click on these boxes, then save them to assign them to the product. If you have more than one, and for instance, I created a WebEx canvas yesterday in a different WebEx. I could decide that WebEx was going to show up higher than test. I can change my order. That basically means two canvases would show. One there, one there. Show you that. Stock is a paper. Sorry, canvas is the size. Obviously, if you're creating a design product, you've got to have an artboard for it to work on. Without an artboard, you haven't really got a product, have you? So, right, okay. Right, the paper, you obviously need some paper to print on, and you can choose as many as you like, and they can have price increases. Earlier you saw on papers there was a price increase field, so we can increase price for choosing different papers. And again, we can order them if we've got more than one. Clip art categories. Well, actually, we're going to allow our Christmas card designs to go on this because we created them earlier. Although they don't seem to be here anymore. So when we did something earlier, we obviously got to save. So perhaps I haven't put the high-end area yet. Masks. Again, I thought I created new mask category. Right, we're going to look at that. Fonts I definitely created. No, I didn't create a new mask category, did I? Right, mask, we were going to go with masks that are going to show clip art. And we can go back and change things at any time. Test training output. So we've now got a product that's assigned to various things. A spread. Obviously, this page has pages 4 and 5. Page 4, page 5. You can set it so it just prints, when it comes to a printer, just prints page 4. Or you can have it printing as a spread that prints page 4 and 5 together. And it all depends what type of book it is to how we print that. Hooray! Right, the product you created earlier, with a little bit of my help, was we popped test category there, which is here. We added a product to it, which is here. product, we put lots of photos on, so people can see lots of photos of the image if they so wish. Okay, or that way. Okay, if you did for me, thank you very much. It's showing the pricing if you're buying more than one. Because it's dynamic pricing, it shows noughts there. There's a reason for that. A couple of things I need to set in the back end for that not to show that. Okay, so it's showing that would be the price for one, which is patently not the case, because we need to configure some things in the back end that I haven't done on this book. And let's see what opens up when we open that product up. Aha! Right. When we talked about that paper being black, that's how it does it. So if we wanted to back to look black, which looks horrible. Right, now I know that. Definitely. I can see a time when perhaps visually we wouldn't want that to happen. But we're going to go back to our stock. And we're going to say, panel actually would be a good example. Panels are black and they look black. So that's probably a good example. We're going to go here. Edit that. And price adjustment. One in to see if that affects the price here. It may be that's affecting the price there. Okay. Okay. So next time we go. Yes, it did. So basically, when we put a paper in here, we need to put a price adjustment as 1. It has to be. No, it's double the price. Right? No. Price adjustment 1 doubles the price. That's not what I expected. So, no, don't put 1 there. Put 1 there. Just going to go get my head around pricing later today. So that's one thing I need to quickly check, giving you the file spreadsheets of these back-end stuff. So I'll make sure I get that right, given them to you. Or advise you to put in there for us. So one of you keep the master spreadsheets and just Excel work for us. Back to the designer and see if it's moved to white. So it looks a bit funkier. It has. The great thing is, if we had that piece of stock assigned to 1,000 products, we wouldn't need to go into each product because the stock is held at the top level. So therefore, you don't even need to change that once. Okay. What it's not doing is putting a price on the product at the moment. Right, so basically it's set this product up with a wrap on the front and back. And of course we put the test training canvas in, didn't we? WebEx canvas was the default earlier one. So this is the one we set up. One from yesterday was also included on here. So you can have different this is that system. We can have different aspect ratio sizes within the same product. So for instance, if I go remember on the other products it came in pink. That's set in here. So in product options here, which either you or the graphic designer will need to do is need to set different product options in here. So ECB, really, so I'm just going to randomly put a one in. Okay, it shows it's coming to a different colour there. So we can set that product to product. And at the moment, it's something we have to set product to product, otherwise we'll get grey. Ultimately, we'll be able to change that. So I'm just going to show you a picture of the reason. Nearly Christmas. Okay. So we've got a landscape aspect ratio product here. Within the same book or product, you can have different aspect ratios. Just can't within the same canvas. So you can have different canvases within the same product. One we've created earlier, it's a square one. Remember, 250 by 250 meter square. And this has smart layout. So by using smart layout, it effectively changes the product to the customer. They don't need to redesign it. They're moving between that. It does it for them. Really, really quite clever. Okay, so we've got a square. Now got a square thing. And if I copy and paste, place. Small version of that page that I rotated. But the important thing for you back end is it's used working in this product 16 to 80 pages. So as you can see here, there's 16 of them. We can keep adding, and as we keep adding, it won't let us go above 80. In fact, when we get to 80, which is quite a few, but as soon as you get to 80, it won't let you add any more. It will let you delete. Because we're less than 80, it'll let us add again. Okay, so the 60 to 80 is set there. The output that we created earlier, we've decided to select this. It's set the spine. And you see, because we added pages, the spine's got thicker. More pages, thicker the spine. It automatically did that. If people want, but obviously they can rotate text like they can rotate spine. They could. Okay. We set the spine. The other thing we set on this product was font options. We just decided to put those font options in. So when we were going in text, the only fonts they have in this option are the fun ones. We didn't put all the other ones on. They've only got those fonts. Okay, so we can control those product to product. Masks, standard masks in. So if we wanted to, we allow masks on this. Clip art. Didn't assign any clip art, but if we had, allow them to clip art. Go back out. This. I'm going to do save the project. Slight bug. I can't get to that product to change the system like that. So might come back with the same design. It does hold lots of things in cache. It has. Okay. Now, has it got our clip art? No, it hasn't. The clip art comes as a chest type of thing. It's It's only got freehand draw. I hate freehand draw. I wouldn't use a freehand draw. It's only got freehand draw. It hasn't got a straight line draw, so it's a bit pointless. So how do I draw it? What I tend to do in products is tools. Okay, I've even got it as an option there. Now the clip art hasn't random. Still there. Still on. Right, I've broken the system. Look. Dot. I've broken the system. Didn't take long. There you go. We're broken. Right. See. Layouts aren't there. Ah, right. Yeah, the other thing. On layouts, we saved some. So what we're going to do, change it to this. Sorry, and we're going to say to it, yeah, I'm going to this product. I'm going to save this product defaults. Next time we open it, it opens up a square product that we traded. But anyway, that gives you an overview on how it's used, how the back end's used, and the settings that you put in the back end, how they affect a product. Okay. So I'll recap on that later and just